So guys, in this video we are going to talk about these loops. First we will discuss how to print 1 to 100 numbers. So you're going to say print 1 and then print 2 and so on. You need to type up to 100. So this is very time consuming and it's a waste. So what you can do is you can loop over these 1 to 100 numbers using these loops. So first loop I am going to say is for loop. The syntax is for iterator. You need to specify one element that will loop over from 1 to 100 numbers. In the first loop it will take the value of first element, and then in the second time it will take the value of second element, and third time third element, and so on. You need to say in stands for membership operator, and what you want to do is you want to specify the range of 0 to 100. So what I'm going to do is I will create a range of numbers and I will say for I in this range. It means that you can loop over this range of numbers each time, one at a time. If you want to put the colon, and then you can see there is a indentation. So for the loops you need to follow this indentation. The general space width for the indentation is 4 spaces or 1 tab space. So you need to say print of I. So here what it's going to do is for I in range of 0 to 100, it's going to execute these many times until I ranges from 0 to 99, because this is exclusive. So I will just say 101. So it will first create the numbers from 0 to 100, and then I will loop over from first I is gonna take value of 0 and then execute this statement that is inside this for loop. So we have specified the colon and we have given the tab space. If you did not give tab space, I mean the 4 indentation, you will get an error. So this print statement comes under this for loop. So first, at the first iteration, I takes the value 0 and execute this code, which is print of I. So 0 will be printed, and in the second iteration I takes the value 1 and executes this print of I, which is 1. In the same way it will loops over 100, and at 101 it will exit. This function does not get executed. So let's run this program and see what it does. And as you can see, we have printed 1 to 100 numbers. So I hope you have understood this for loop. So we have just saying for I in range 0 comma 101. This range specifies the numbers, and each time whenever the for loop is going to execute, the I is going to be incremented. So okay, now let's say a sample list. Let's say a few numbers and few strings. So these are the elements of this list. So how you can loop over this list is you can just delete this range and you want to say for I in L. So now I takes the element L of 0, which is 67, and it's going to be printed, and then 69, 899, and then these strings. For each time of this iteration, these loops will get executed. So let me print this. So as you can see, 67 and all the contents of this list. Another way you can loop is you can specify range of this length of list. You can need to specify 0 comma length of L. So the length of L is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 from 0 to length of 6. That means this range produces the values 0 1 2 3 4 5. So these are the 6 elements, and you can just say L of I, because I takes the value indexes. So you need to say L of I. If you did not say L of I, it will just print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So we need to print these elements of this list. We need to say L of I. So if you print this, you will get the elements of this list. So this is the best way to iterate over the list. In the previous way, that is for I in L, it's not that much helpful, because I directly points to this 67 element. So you cannot do some calculations if you want to if I points to the direct element. So we will make I pointing to the indexes of these elements of this list, and then we can just call L of I. So this is the one for loop. And next one is I am going to talk about this while loop. So the syntax is while condition, while true. So let's take an example. A is equals to 0. So this while loop syntax is while condition, and then as you can see, if I hit enter, the indentation automatically happen and the 4 spaces has been added. So you need to give the gap 4 spaces after this while condition to include the statements under the while loop. So while condition, and this condition should be true, and while this condition is being true, execute these statements. Print of A. So this condition, let's say A less than 11. So while A being less than 11, we are going to print value of A. So let's go ahead and run this. So as you can see, there are infinite number of zeros, because the value of A is not changing here. So it has been struck. Alright. Okay, I will say in the ideally. Alright, now let's open recent sample.py. Alright, now I am going to show you here. I don't know why this. Alright, now I am going to show you here. So we are not going to change the values of A. That's why it's this condition is forever true, because 0 is less than 11. Now what I am going to do is I want to say A plus is equals to 1. So I am now incrementing A value. So now it will print from 0 to 10. Now let me run this. So now if I run this one, you will get the output as 0 to 10. So because A is incrementing and at A is equals to 10, this statement gets executed, print of 10, and then A is equals to A plus 1, which changes the value from 10 to 11, and the while A less than is equals to A 11, which is false, because 11 is equals to 11, right? That's why this function gets exited. So this is the while loop, and I'm going to delete this, and let's say A is equals to 10, B is equals to 5. Now another loop you are going to see is if loop. So if we need to say condition, if A greater than B, then you need to put the colon, and then you need to write some statements. So if A is greater than B, you want to perform some task, so you can perform this task here. Let's say we are going to print A is greater than B. So if A greater than B, we are going to print this, and let's go ahead and run this, and you can see A is greater than B. So we can also put else clause. You need to say else print A is less than B. So if we go ahead and run this, let me save this one and run this one. So a is greater than b, so let me change the value of a to 3. So now it's saying a is less than b. So now the situation is, what if you have more than 2 conditions? So here we are checking only 2 conditions, whether a is greater than b or a is less than b. So you can say if a is equals to b, so this double equals to will compare the actual value of a and b. If both are equal, then only this statement gets executed. Now I want to say a is equal to b, and you can also put another elif a less than b. Let's say finally you can put the else clause. So here what we are going to do is, we are first going to check one condition, a less than b, a greater than b. If that condition is true, then it will print this, execute this print statement, a is greater than b. Else if this condition fails, then it will check this one, a is equals to b, then this statement gets executed. And even if that condition fails, then it will come to this statement, condition a less than b. If that is true, then it will get this statement gets executed. And if all these 3 conditions fails, then this will get executed, because else is other than all conditions except these 3. So now let me put a is equals to 5 and save the script and run our program. We will get a is equals to b, because this condition has been satisfied as true and this statement has been executed. Now let's say a is equals to -1. So -1 also less than 5. So, okay, just we are not going to print this nothing. So I'll just delete this one, a less than b, let's say 3. Now it will print nothing. So as you can see, so these are the basic loops you are going to encounter in normal Python programming. And we will also develop some tools in the section in this course only, in particular section. So in that section we will be using the lot of if loops, for loops, and etc. So I hope you have understood. Even though if this section sounds confusing, in the practice section or in the developing tool section, you will get so much comfortable.